Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Drivers Room Endurance Championship. This is Season 4, Round 2, Tier 1, with the big boys of the Drivers Room, the very fastest of the fast. And we are back at St. Croix, Variation C. And let's get down with our grid walk for today. Starting off in pole, we have VQS Dawson, also known as the Stig, that I've named him. An extremely fast driver, and let's see if anyone can do anything to stop this man today. In P2, we have the Duckman Plucks the Duck, also known as Baby Spice, in the Spice Boys team, M4R Racing, made for racing. In P3, we have Turbo Smith, CS Smith, in the mighty Mazda. In fourth, we have Drift Spice, also known as Awesome Alex. In fifth, we have Adventure Racing, also known as Jeff James. In sixth, we have Mr. Lorcas. Behind him, we have Lionessy in the Sexy Beetle. Behind Lorcas, behind the sea, we have Berkey Baby, part of the M4R crew, and the Spice Boy. Don't remember his nickname at the moment, but we'll probably remember that at some point. And we have our fearless leader and the creator of the Endurance Championship Series, Mr. Gadget 334. Behind him, we have Mr. Sean in the brutal and futuristic looking Citroen. Behind him, we have Mr. TX Fabro. And we have Mr. DJ Rice in the Golf. It's probably not a Golf, but I'm saying it's a Golf. And we have Are You Ready, Ben? And yeah, Ben behind Ricey again in the very poor starting Supra, but it is a great looking car. Behind Ben, we have Mr. Wilkinator in the BMW. And finishing off the field today is Mr. Senna. He's probably struggling a little bit to get acclimated to the wheel. So let's see how everyone does today down at the races. Alright, we're about ready to get this show started. Let's see how everyone gets off the line. We are off in our second race of Season 4. Oh, and it looks like Mr. Sean has really not followed. Let's take a look quickly at the start. Oh, he got totally, turned in on. Nothing he could do, and Gadget was unlucky to get some damage on the very start takeoff straight. It's gotta be boring. Right, we have Mr. Dawson and Adventure Racing right at the back. James is, as we all know, a very fast driver, but can he match and keep up with the Stig? Look at how big of a gap these two aliens have already. And Smithy has fallen down a couple of places. Dawson might be able to do this. Dawson is already getting the gap now. Looks like there's a big, a little bit of a difference in skill levels between these two. As we all know, Dawson isn't human. He's probably from LV-246, the alien xenomorph planet. That's possibly what Dawson is. Look at the green car. If that's not a clue, I wouldn't know. And we have Drift Spies trying to find a way past Plux, and Plux has some rare aero damage as well. And as we all know, for Tier 1, if you get any damage, you will have to go into the pits and fix it. It will not go away after 20 seconds, as in the lower tiers. Dawson is still holding up in front, and look at the back, a lot of action. We'll scroll through that. Oh, and looks like Lanesi is going for a move on Smithy. Does that little beetle have enough grunt to get... No. Smithy and Lanesi are both on a pad. Oh, and Smithy goes off! No, 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 no! Oh, he has a lot of work to get back to now, and he's got some front aero damage as well. Oh! Ben goes off on the grass as well. Let's just follow these two to lap 2, and we'll scroll down the field again. That Lexus just sounds so menacing. Just the fireworks of sound. I think that rare aero damage is really hurting Plux at the moment. Lanesi up into 5th. Fabro is doing good. I love that livery, by the way. Very nice looking livery. Lorcas in 7th. And Senna has driven himself up from 15th up to 8th. Very good start from Senna. Senna's just getting used to the wheel, so it might take him a few races, maybe a season, just to get to grips with everything. And Ben is ahead of Gadget, just barely, and Gadget is really freaking holding on with his front end damage. Doesn't look like it's slowing him down too much. And Ben is chasing him in the back there. And Ben's being followed closely by Wilco as well. Wilco's trying to go for a move on Ben already. We hear the roaring Mazda in the back. Oh, and yeah, Smith has been into the pits to fix the damage. He has a lot of work to do now. He's got some fresh tires as well. Let's hope he can catch up to at least a few of the guys. And we know how fast Smith's nitro fuel is, so it should kick in momentarily. Mr. Sean has been into the pits as well, fixed his damage. He just couldn't take off before he got damaged. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I kind of dislike the damage model in Tier 1, but it is what it is. It is the top tier. It is where all the drivers need to watch out and really give it their all, give it their best to stay competitive. Although you will run a little bit scared by, you know, having to constantly be aware that the wall is dangerous. And look at the two team members. Is it a stable order today? Is Alex allowed to pass? And we have Fabro going for a move. Oh, will this work? Will this work? Will this work? goes on the inside, squeezes Plux a little tiny bit, but Plux manages to stay ahead and Alex loses a place. Man, Fabro has got some big balls, that's for sure. Awesome racing. Oh, and Alex goes on the grass. Don't get too much dirt on those tires, Mr. Alex. Remember, this is a circuit race, not a... That was not a corner cut. Oh, and look at Alex. Oh, my God. Oh, it's not... Oh, and we have Plux. He's gone into the pits. No, screw this damage. He can't take it anymore. He will lose a few places down to Lorcas, Senna, Ricey, Berkey. Comes out before Gadget. Gadget stays out for one more lap on his damage. Maybe it isn't affecting him too much. Ben has a moment. Luckily he didn't slam into the wall, but he loses a couple of positions now down to Wilco and Smith possibly. Maybe he can defend his... oh, and look at Wilco. He's also got some damage on the front right as well. And loses the spot to Smithy. I can just imagine hearing Ben right now. F off Smith, F off Smith. I've raced with Ben enough to know those moments. And it looks like Smithy has got Ben. Looks like he has a little bit better grip. No, the tires are about the same. Smith will tear out his tires a little bit more since he is technically still on pad, I believe. Let's go up to the top two. And look at Stig's tires. They are not worn at all. Oh, just listen to that engine. James is not giving up. He is within second and a half, I believe. But these two boys are insanely fast. We have Fabro right ahead of Nessie and Alex. Will they be able to make a move? It looks like Nessie is trying to go for a move on the inside. Will it go before the... Yeah, it goes before the corner. Puts Nessie up into third. Oh, and Alex is looking a little squirmy behind there. Oh, looks like Alex is going for a move on the outside of Fabro. And we have Lorcas going in for a battle with these boys. Still too far behind, but he is dangerously close. I think we're going to go for an onboard move. No, wait. Alex has gone into the pits. Lorcas is right up in the gearbox of Fabro. Did Fabro get any damage? Nope. Oh, so close to the wall. Will Lorcas be able to do it on the inside of this corner? No. think that Supra is quite fast on the straight, so Lorcas might be holding off until then. Alex comes out in 6th after his pit stop. Smith has driven himself back up into 7th. And Gadget is still out on damage. But as we all know, our fearless leader is very good at keeping his car on the track with damage, and saying that, Ricey goes off. Comes out just ahead of Wilco. Wilco still stays out on that damage. Mr. Sean has gotten himself back up to 13th. Senna's down to 14th. Tires are probably died off. Berkey Baby has dropped down all the way to 15th, and he has got himself some damage for his troubles. Probably slammed into the wall somewhere. Very easy to do on this track, even though it's quite wide. We have Adventure Racing there. Tires are looking a little bit more worn than Dawson's, but I think Dawson might have this covered. Let's go for a little live timing. Dawson is 3.6 seconds ahead of James, and it's 9 seconds down to Nessie. 3 down to Lorcas. Lorcas has got himself ahead. Yeah, okay, never mind. And Adventure Racing actually has the fastest lap of the race with a 3:26.0. Nessie there in the sexy Beetle. The racing variant of the Beetle is a very, very hot car. The civilian version, not so much. Lorcas up into 4th. I don't know who he passed. Oh yeah, he did fight with Nessie, but he's lost a bit of ground down to Nessie now. We have Monsieur Alex. Smithy is catching up. Oh, look at his tires. Look at his front tires. As we said in the Tier 3 video, this track is exceptionally harsh on the tires, no matter what car class you're in. And here we have a perfect example of Gadget. He worked out a way to save the tire wear on his tires before 2020, and he goes in to finally fix the damage. Smithy has also gone in. No fuel stop for these. And Farbro has himself some damage. Oh no, and Berkey. Let's take a look at what happened with Berkey, and he slams into the wall. No, 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 no. And I believe his car is so damaged that he the grip just loosens up and he slams into another wall. Yep. Oh, not a good day at the office for Berkey. Coming up to the leader now, Mr. Dawson in 5th. Scroll down the field. He has himself a commanding lead. I don't know what this guy does differently from everyone else, but I basically think it's just consistency. Not a lot of errors, and on top of that, he is just that damn fast. Into, we have Mr. Adventure Racing. 3, Alex. Alex is up into 3rd. I think Lioness, he has taken on some fuel. Lorcas is right up Nessie's back alley. We'll follow these two for just a moment. It will be dangerous down the straight, so let's come back to that in a second. Plux in 6th, not a good race for our champion. Smithy in 7th. We have Ricey there. Oh, and Shawnee! Oh, that corner is just so brutally difficult if you don't get the right and correct line from the pair of S's, downhill S's that leads up to the bridge. So easy to make a mistake, and Shawnee did that. Oh. And Berkey has gone out of the pits with new damage. Oh, not a good day at the office for this man at all. Let's take a look at Nessie and Lorcas. Lorcas is showing himself in the rear views of Nessie. Here I am. I haven't gone anywhere. One mistake and I'm ahead. Please do a mistake. Please do an error so I can overtake you. Lorca's a very strong, fair driver. Has been a little bit unlucky the times I've raced him. And we have Dawson. He has been into the pits. It looks like James has been into the pits one lap earlier. Oh, and Lorcas is going for a move before turn 1 on the start-finish straight. Will it work? Lorcas is ahead of Lionesi. Beautiful move from I believe he's Greek. Well, we're just gonna call him Lorcas. And it looks like Nessie hasn't given this fully up. He wants that position back. But when these two are fighting, Plucks the Duck will come up behind the M4R, whatchamacallit, Guru, M4R Captain. There we go, Captain. Will come up closely. Tires are starting to run off a little bit for our champion. And Smithy. Oh, and this is not good. That will be a kind of a stewarding thing for Smithy, I believe. He has a 0 over his car. Yeah. The stewards will not like that. Ricey doing well in 8th so far. Mr. Gadget has gotten himself back into 9th. He has a lot of ground to cover. Has been a little bit unlucky this season. A lot of damage in the first few laps. Seems to be a thing with Gadget this season. Very unlucky with damage in the first lap. Fabro has fallen down to 11th. He's just behind Mr. Senna, and he's going for a move on the bridge. Makes that stick and is up into 10th. Ben is in 12th, just trying to salvage the position and get home a few points. If I remember correctly, it is the 15 drivers that will score points in Tier 1, and the 16 is left out. But since we don't have 15 drivers, and I think we lost a person. Yeah, Berkey has left the building. His car was sadly too damaged to continue. Coming up at the start of lap 9, we have Adventure Racing down in 3rd. With Awesome Alex, he has conquered 2nd. Dawson, well, let's just say no one can touch Dawson. The Stig is doing good out there. Flux the Duck is right ahead of Linus now. He's gotten himself back up into fourth from starting third. So it will be some good points for M4R if we can keep that position. Smithy is up into sixth, followed closely by Gadget. Gadget will do his very best to stick on the oh. Yeah, Gadget will have to go in and get some more Bam Bam juice. And some new tires. I didn't notice that. He's running low on fuel. Smithy still in eighth. Ricey. And we have Fabro down in ninth. And it looks like Ben is going for a move on Senna. I imagine these two being in comms chat together as well. So it will be a lot of communication between these two. That's the great thing about the driver's room. We're all friends and all that at the end of the day, but in the race there is no holds barred. But at least we tell each other where we are on track and try to avoid each other, especially in Tier 1, since the heavy damage can make or break a race. Mostly break a lot of races. Mr. Sean in 12th. Maybe he's got some control of that unruly and mighty Cetron. Lorcas is down in 13th, and I'm not sure about the choice of tire this man has gone over to. As you can see, yeah, Lorcas has gone over to Racing Hard. The longest and most durable tire compound of them all, but the tire with the lowest grip in the start. Maybe he is planning to run on these tires and fuel to the very end? I don't know. Wilkinator in 14th. We have lost Berkey. Dawson is coming out of the pits at lap 10 with fresh tires and a big load of fuel. So should last him to the end. And Gadget goes in to the pits with 2% fuel left. Let's see how much go-go juice this fearless leader takes on. Just under a half a tank. That should last Gadget for another 3 or 4 laps. Comes well ahead out of the pits in front of Mr. Fabro. Maybe 1.5 seconds ahead of him. And now Fabro smells the blood of Gadget. Ricey in 9th now. He looks like he's been into the pits as well. Senna is ahead of Shawnee, and it looks like Ben has been into the pits, got himself a half tank of fuel. Should probably last him for the next 20 or so minutes, maybe the full extent of this remaining time. Vulcanator is into the pits. Oh, and he has damage. Oh. It is so easy on this track. Has he thrown in the towel? Oh, I think he might have thrown in the towel. Such a shame. Wilco is such a good driver, but he has been riddled with bad luck lately. And yeah. James is down in third. I think James must have gotten some damage around the track somewhere between 7 and 10. Lap 7 and 10s. Flux the Duck in fourth, being followed closely by Nessie. Smithy is trying to catch up to Nessie, but he is running out of Bam Bam juice. Let's go down to Gadget and take a look at how it goes between him and Fabro. It looks like Gadget has gotten himself a bigger gap down to Fabro at the moment. With the experience of racing with Gadget a few times, I know he's quite a bit faster than me, but not by a very big margin. He just has a better control on his tires and his driving line than what I usually have. But it is also a great victory in me when I've been able to beat the creator of the Endurance Championship sometimes. Not a lot, but sometimes. Saying that, we have Awesome Alex or Drifty Spice into the pits for some more Bam Bam juice. Half a tank of fuel. Should probably last them for the next 15-20 minutes. I think these guys will go in for another pit stop. We have Smithy into the pits. He has run his tank to the brim. To the very low, I mean. To the very lowest. Takes on just under half tank of fuel. Gets out in front of Gadget. Maybe it's Gadget's turn to smell blood in the water and chase down that screaming Mazda. Fabro. Here we have Mr. DJ Rice. Beautiful looking car. Let's go on board with Ricey until the bridge. That was half a lap with the on board with Mr. DJ Rice. Senna has run his fuel tank to empty. Maybe he has one more lap in him. Maybe he goes into the pits. Ben will probably catch up a little bit when Senna dives into the pits. Shawnee is entering the bridge as we speak. Lorcas is still on racing hard. Still a tire choice I don't really understand. He might have looked a little sideways when he picked his tires. Maybe it was a conscious choice. Maybe it was just an overlooked choice. Wilco is still racing. He decided not to give up, so that's a very good thing from this man. VQS Dawson, let's follow VQS Dawson on board for half a lap. problem with the camera. Sorry about that. Let's follow on board with VQS Dawson, or the Stig. Have a lap with Mr. Stig. James is closing in on Stig. Tires are getting worn. And Plucks the Duck is up into third with rare aero damage. Let's hope Mr. Alex didn't punt his boss up into the ass. It looks like it's going to be a little bit of a fight here. Let's hope there's not stable orders today, like there is in Formula 1. And Alex go, wow, okay. I think that was team order to let Alex pass. We all know how I feel about that, and I am not very satisfied. But maybe it was just Plux couldn't keep his car properly aligned into the corner, and he goes back into P3. I have a feeling there will be team orders today, and M4R's crew is probably instructing Alex to back off. Oh, there is no downforce on the rear end of Plux's car. Either that or the FT1 is just an unruly piece of machine to drive. Let's see what Plux does. Plux decides to stay out for one more lap, and we will scroll down the field. Lioness is closing in fifth. It will probably be easy for Lioness to catch up to these two when they are fighting, or if they are helping each other. I don't know. Smith is up into sixth place. Gadget down into seventh, and he needs more Bam Bam juice. Fabro will probably conquer seventh for the moment, but he will have to go in within a few laps. Ricey has gone in. Ben will probably be good for a few more laps until his pit stop. It's been very difficult in Tier 1 for Ben. A lot of faster drivers are coming in, and he's been constantly riddled with bad luck and damage, usually on lap 1 or lap 2. He's usually been a victim of bullying out on track, I would say, and always been at the wrong place at the right times for incidents to happen. But let's just wish and hope Ben the best of luck at his, well, luck changes to the better in the future. In 10th, we have Mr. Sean. Coming up on lap 15, we have Smithy still in 6th place, and we have Alex down to 5th, with Lionessi up into 4th, and Flux the Duck in 3rd, and he has gotten rid of his damage. The final sprint to the finish, just 10 minutes to go. Probably be 2 or 3 laps remaining of this race. I think it was 18, maybe 19 laps driven in Tier 3. Alex, Smithy. Very, very unlucky start for Smith in the race. There we have Gadget, also a victim of bullying in the start line of the race. Trust me, it is not fun to get damage in the race, and especially on a track that's this long and it takes nearly 4 minutes to drive around the track. It will be almost an 8-minute crawl back to the pits when your speed is reduced by almost half, and that is with engine damage, of course. Ricey has done good so far in the race. He has been consistent in 8th place, so at least there will be some good points in it for him. And look at Shawnee's car. The rear tires are starting to wear, so I think this car is especially heavy on the rear tires since it's an MR car, I believe. Engine in the middle. There we have Senna in 10th, and he is running bingo on fuel. I believe Ben will be good to the very end of this race, so there might be a 10th place for Ben. Senna probably needs to take on 3.5 liters of fuel, I believe. And Ricey has gone in to the pits. I will say this, I do miss racing with these boys. I am taking a break off this season, time off to recuperate and recharge my interest for the series, and just basically not to burn out from all the racing I've done. It does get a little bit, I wouldn't say boring, but it feels like a chore sometimes. So I've taken time off. I do miss racing with these great boys, great guys. Mr. Senna comes out and nearly smashed. Oh, that is not a very good exit from the pits. At least he managed to not plow the car right into the walls and totally embarrass himself. Still is a far way ahead of Lorcas, and yeah, as we can see, Lorcas is off his racing hearts. back onto his super soft. And I believe we might have lost Fabro somewhere. Yeah, Fabro and Berkey has quit because of mechanical issues. And here we have, all we know is that, well, some people say that he punts babies and eats raw baby crocodiles, live baby crocodiles. All we know is that he is called the Stig. I had to do a Top Gear 1 there. Very badass man when he can eat live baby crocodiles. That's what some people say anyway. Mr. James in adventure racing has stayed consistently out of danger. But I think Dawson might be a tad bit too fast for James. Plucks the duck, and his teammate in M4R, Mr. Awesome Alex. Oh, and Alex just scratches some paint off that car. Let's go for an onboard view with Mr. Alex. Goes for a move on the inside of his team captain and is ahead. Little bumping, little contact between them, but otherwise fine. Looks like Plux is going for a counter. This kind of looks like a team order. I don't like this. Oh! Oh no! And Plux just goes a little bit too wide. Let's take a look back at what happened to our champion Plux. I think the pressure, I think he was under the Alex pressure. And yeah, oh, just too wide. Couldn't recover. And now he has a lot of groundwork to just take the fight up to Lionessy in the last lap of this race. They will go over the line and start lap 18, which also will be the last lap. There won't be a time for a lap 19, I think. A rare error we saw from Plux, not a lot of errors that man does. And it looks like Smithy is running low on fuel again. Could be very thirsty, that Mazda. Here we have Gadget. He might have to go in for one last pit stop, but he would be secure. He would be safe doing that, just taking on 1.5 laps of fuel, possibly. Ricey in 8th. He doesn't need a new fuel stop or tires. Shawnee, Ben in 10th, and his fronts are starting to go. Looks like the Supra is a little bit top heavy, and I think this will be Ben's last lap. I don't think he's going to be able to get into the finish line by 30 seconds, 20 seconds. Senna has nearly got enough fuel for the end. Lorcas looked like he had a good strategy in the start of the race, but I think he's had an accident somewhere where he just fell down to 12th. Wilco started off good, but then had some incidents that really put him back. Dawson is running low on fuel, but this is his very last lap. Let's hope he can keep it together. As our first driver goes into the finish, which is Smith. He is done with this 1 hour race for today. A nightmare of a race, nightmare of a start. But he drove himself well back up into 6th. Gadget has finished in 7th. Ricey will finish in 8th. Mr. Sean comes home in 9th. Ben will come home in 10th. I think this is more or less a win for our Canadian friend. Senna coming home. Lorcas in the back straight of the track, and I think Wilco's a lap down and has just slowed it all down. Let's take a look at Dawson as he comes home in the final lap. Let's take take a look at. Let's follow these two. Looks like Plux has a good grip on Line SE, but they're also very low on fuel. Who will run out first, if anyone? Line SE is going extremely defensive. It's up to Plux now to get the better line out of this corner and into the back straight. Get the best possible slipstreaming option. Will it be enough, or is that Beetle just a little bit grunt? Oh! Nessie goes defensive. Squeezes Plux to the left, covers the inside. Will it be enough? And Plux tries to pass on the outside. Will he have the balls enough to do so? He does. Beautiful move from the duck. The duck man. Oh, and they both go wide, and Nessie almost hits the wall. As we see, Adventure Racing has gone in and finished his race, and Alex will come home in 3rd. Cuts the grass with extremes. Thank you all for watching. Come back next time, and see you all then. Bye bye.